Greetings and welcome to Factorio. I'm Dgray and today we continue our entry level to Megabase, where in the last episode just got this nice steel operation up running that has finally backed up. In between episodes I just added a small amount more in terms of smelters to our steel setup. And that is because this is productivity. That means we need less than a 1-to-1 ratio, as we have a 20% increase of the output. That's why I had to give about 20% more over here as well to compensate for that change to make it 1-to-1. In today's episodes, I will very much want to start to work towards utility science packs. As I've done with the other ones, I did all of these in one grid, but in terms of this one, I want to do it in multiple ones with the trains moving it around. The reason for that is we already have processing units in one cell. We'll need a metric ton of low density structures in terms of how many buildings of assemblers we need to make them. And I want to show you the other way of making a 2000 science per minute utility grid. So if you think that's a good idea, do remember to leave a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, do remember to subscribe as well. And I want to give a big shout out to all my patrons. They help me make this possible to do, as YouTube is not the best in terms of ad revenue. So thank you all for enabling me to do this. So let's see here. We want to set up some low density structures. We might as well just take, we could for example just take a grid right here, as it's nice and centralized. And we should be able to set up what we need. I've done a bit of math in between episodes as well, and to run a 2000 science per minute base, in terms of the research and what we want in the future, we need about 3000 low density structures outputting at any given time. So if we look right here, just at the basic setup for low density structures, we have it right here. It's a 20-second craft time with a ton of copper input. So in terms of what we need to get this to work is, like I said, a lot of machines. So firstly, as we always do, let's just try and see what kind of numbers one of these pull, and then figure out how much we have to get in. Let's get ourselves some power. There we are. Loading structures, here's some productivity. That is very important, and some speed. So with this current setup, one of these is making per minute 23. And if we need about 3000 per minute to run our entire 2K science per minute base, we'll need about 130, 40 something of these. What if we do 130? That gives us 3K. So we need, let's say 140 of these we need to get what we need for the entire base. If you then see the amount we need in per machines per second, we need, wow, what's that going to be, almost 20 belts of copper and such. We need a ton of plastic and a ton of steel, and that is why I want to give it its own cell. So in theory, we'll just make it as big as we can and get the items in. The bottleneck is our copper. As you can see, we use 5 per second. So we can't handle more than 8 in a row with one row of copper going in. And that is something we have to build around. So we can't make it bigger than this. I'll just show you. 2 to about here, 2, 4, 6, 8. This is the most one copper line can supply. What we can do to make it a bit bigger is having copper going in from the top and in from the bottom with what's it called? Steel and plastic going in from the right side. So see right here, 44, 11 and 4. So you can pretty much do a mixed belt of these two. if we wanted to. We can also let them go all the way through, just making one long line with 16 assemblers, and then just expanding that out quite a few times. So for example, let's say we did that. What if we did you and did it to here? That'll be a maximum range, and say that is how big we'll want to make it. So this size will consume 2 copper, what's it called, 2 copper lines completely, and then we can do a mixed build of the rest. So let's just get it all placed in, get the robots to move it. Did it a bit far away, but they're going here. And then we'll see how it looks. I'll be back in just a second after the robots have moved all of this. So the robots have just placed all of this in, and let's look at our numbers again. So at the moment we can see we are per second consuming 88 copper. That is 1 or 2, pretty much 2 full blue lines of copper, one going in from the bottom, one going in from the top. And then we can do a mixed blue belt on the right side that gives the other 2, then output it to a red belt with all the outputs going south. So for example, if we do 2 of these, they'll consume exactly 1 train of copper. And if you see here, to get to about the 3000 we need per minute, we need to hit about 9 of these to have a somewhat decent throughput. We could in theory do 8, just to get it almost where it needs to be, but that way we only requires, what is that gonna be? That's gonna be 4 stations of just copper. So we'll see how much we can fit in here if we just have one massive one. But in theory, 9 rows of this should supply us with pretty much what we need for 2k science per second. So now to fit in all of the belts. It is something we've done before. We'll have to belt weaving. Firstly, here is gonna be all of the copper. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's gonna be all of the input copper here. If we then take you and flip you and do it here as well, I think it's gonna be right there. That's gonna be the other 8 from the bottom. Good. Then copper in right here. Very easily. Now we're gonna have a copper line at the bottom. We'll probably just have 2 trains delivering copper in to supply this, and then we'll need an output as well. Like I said, we'll output to the south, so something like this should be quite good. Can we jump it from, I'm hoping we can jump it from here to there, because that makes it easier to set up, requiring less belts. So you'll jump from here to here, there to there. That looks pretty decent. That's going to be all of you coming out. You'll be doing it at a rate of 1.4. So that is nothing in terms of filling belts. Let's put in our little things in. You'll grab all of the things we need. Done the same down here already. And then you will output. In theory, we don't need that much. We pretty much just use fast inserters, so just normal ones. So yeah, that is something we can do to save a bit of power. So let's just request some of these just to have the power sorted. While they're getting flown in, let's fix the other input. That'll be the mix of see here, of plastic and steel. I'll have them go in at the top. Will require not that much to go in. If we do this times 9, we need a bit more than 1 plastic and almost no steel. So 1 of each of those going in will be just fine. So let's see here. drain unloading. We'll have one right here, outputting copper for the top, and you'll output copper for the bottom for the first. I'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. We'll probably do 8 in here. I think that'll be fine for now in terms of what we need. It will be a bit less than what we need to produce, but it will look so much nicer that we have this one doing 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a lot of copper. Then the other side can have the other 2, and then we can have it in at the top. Yeah, we'll see how we'll do it. It's gonna look good nonetheless. So that's here. Then we have the mixed input. We'll take that from the top. So I kind of want to do it underground as it looks the best. In theory, we can in theory just take what we have over here and remove the red. Almost at least. Yeah, we can do this. And you can go in over here. Let's remove all of the red belts, please. Red undergrounds even. Then we can get the inserters from here. Flip you to there. That will input all the steel and plastic. We also need to get the outputs that is getting flown in, so that'll be here in a second. Let's just load in the unloading up here. We'll have you. Let's remember to move you back a bit. Yeah. And then we have the other one over here. There we are. So that'll be plastic and steel. And that should be able to supply everything we need for these. So that is easy enough, and they will just merge them together. Power-wise, we can probably use these to do it. I'll do one right here. Let's just get the power to make sure it actually looks correct. We can start there for now. Then we'll have you be right there, perfect. And that lines up very, very nicely. Let's get the outputs out very slowly. There we have the outputs. So this should power all of it. That should output what we need, giving us 6 something per second for all of them. And that is about half of what we can have on one side of red belts. So that is very, very good. You're not needed. You can be changed for a belt. That way. And then we need to expand this out a few times. So you do 4 at the bottom, you do 4 at the top. Then we'll do the same on the opposite side. Here and here. But is there anything else we need to look at for this? This build should be correct now. Yes, going out. You are going in with the copper mixed and out. So let's see how many of these we can actually fit in and get our robots to build it, and then we'll add in the rest afterwards. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 we can fit in. That is completely fine. That gives us 99.9% of what we need for a 2K science minute base. So I'll take it. This requires 1, 2, 3, 4 from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4 from over here. So let's just set this one up with, well, let's just add in 2 more over here. That would give us all the copper from there, and let's see, all the copper from up here. Good. Those will go around and go in, making main lines both ways. Pretty much one whole line for each of these, so that's gonna be pretty easy to set up. Then at the bottom, we'll have a loading station. Loading all of this delicious load into structure into a train. Consuming all the things we have. So let's hook up what we need. We need to have 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, and number 4. That will be our, what's it called? Copper. Can we then just flip you like that? And do you line up as needed over here then? You line up right here. So we'll do that. Just remove these 3 as they're not needed. But that's an easy way to get the belts in at least. That'll be the 4 copper lines from over here. That is a lot of copper. Then we should be able to take this, do RG, and fit it in up here as well. I love this mirroring of blueprints. Right there. And then we need to hook these up together, giving us a nice input. Let's just go all the way to the side to make it look good. So you will merge over this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll go down that way. You'll go down here. You'll go down that way and this way with you. One copper, 2 copper, 3 copper, and 4 copper. God, look how good this looks. That's just all the copper being supplied. Not that we have enough at the moment to supply this much. Can we then just do... What if we just take you and do that? Then we can in theory take... Well, the length is probably not going to be correct. So let's just take you and do G. Oh, look at that. It just lines up. Drag you to there. And that'll be all the copper from these 2. Then the opposite side. Let's see over here. Can we do... What if we do that? And then just do... Press F. Say boom. With that one changing. Is that the same over? Ooh, oh, look at that. That looks brilliant. And we can kind of move you down a bit. We can go there. And we can cut you out and take you to here instead. And kind of just delete these. There we are. Gotta remember to use those blueprints. It is the best in the world. There we are. So that is hooked up as well now. Up here. G. Flip. Take the lines going up this way. Also remember to turn it the correct way. About here, let's remove some of you. And take this little twist from down here and press G. Boom. So that is all of our copper hooked up. And let's just change it to copper. Hasn't been activated yet. But we'll do that at the same time, making sure all the copper will flow in. So now for the steel and such. let's just get the rest of this moved in. How far away are all the modules? They're flying in right here. Oh, look. Oh, this looks beautiful. Nothing like a purple science production. So now we have to get this in. You will have to, I'll have to get the rest of these first. Or in theory I can do that and say I want you times 8 per minute. They're almost 3k. That requires 1, 2, 3, 4 belts of plastic. Exactly what we're getting in up here. And about 2 belts of iron. So each plastic belt has to be split in half, pretty much. And each steel one in about the 4th. So that means 2 belts of steel, 4 belts of steel or plastic. Let's see here. So just take the plastic in. Let's see if we take plastic in here. It means we have 4 belts. Each of them divides into 2. So this one will have 1 going to it. Let's see, what's the easiest way to do it? It has to jump in on one side here. Let's remove those. There's one right here in the middle. There. And oh, I turned the opposite way, didn't I? I did. Let's flip you. That'll be all the input and where we kind of have to mix them together. So on one side we want steel and the other one we want plastic. Let's do that for all of them all the way down. Just to make it look like we want. Go 8. And then we need to get each of these to hit each of these output ones here. So you'll go on 2. Let's see. What if we just take you all the way up here to make sure we have as much room as possible. Saying that you will split out here and jump from here to that one. You'll go over this way and you'll jump as well. Need to request more than these at a time. Let's give me 100 instead, as we do use quite a bit of underground. Then the next line, you'll go down this way. You can do a split here. Yeah, maybe. There. And one of you will go over that way. And the other one will go to there. So you two will have to go over this way. So 1, 2. I did turn into a bit of spaghetti anyway. Over this way. So you'll split 1, 2. You'll split here. Go down that way. As soon as we get it, and you'll go over this way and in right here. And the last one. Split and continue along down to there. That will give us what we need to hook this up. Thank you, undergrounds. Jump. 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 And how far can you jump? Oh, you can jump all the way from up there. Perfect. And jump. So that is all of our what's it called? Plastic hooked up. Could make this look a bit better. Kind of want to make it more flush with this one. What if we just take it down this way instead? So you'll go something like not something that's very much needed, but there we are. So that is all of our plastic. So steel. We decided that we only needed 2 lines of those. Was that correct? Here's all of it. 140. I feel like we're missing something. That's about right. About 2 belts. So we'll have 2 lines coming from up here. One can go to the 4 over here, and the other one can go to the 4 over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That means the first one. You can kind of go down this way and jump. And then we'll split you however needed. Let's move it up to here instead. And you'll continue over this way. You'll go here. Split, split, and then straight in. That'll be the steel and plastic going in. Then we have the other line. This one kind of has to start over here, so maybe we'll just take you... Do you want to move this down just a smidge to save some belts? I kind of want to. So what if we just do it... Can in theory do it all the way down here. That looks good. Because that will save us a bit of belts everywhere. There, you can jump to here instead. Second line. You can just jump here and go this way. Well, we kind of want to get it down, so in theory you can do it something like that. Yes, very, very much in line. There we are. So that should be that hooked up. I think we have everything we need now for this to work. I kind of want to remove many of these up here, as they are a waste of material. So how does this look? We still need to hook up the outputs though. We need to change what things are going to get delivered. Not that our base can't handle it at this current stage, but I think it'll be good. So you down here will output latency structures. 32k, that's fine. This is pretty much what we'll consume in 11 minutes when the base is running, so I don't mind having that buffered because it seems like a lot, but when the base is running it's almost nothing. Load instructor loading. Did I even spell that correctly? Let's see. Density structure. So it's not a city, but it's city. Loading. Good. And then we need to hook you up with the outputs from up here. Let's see. Our little splitter, where it all goes into. Balancer. Perfect. If we can go that way, we don't need that much more room. There we are. Then we need the 8 outputs out, and as you see here, it's actually not that much we're producing. Only about 1 blue belt per side. In theory, we can do it all red belts and merge it together. But if we do a blue belt for these 4 and a blue belt for these 4, going into each separate line, I think it'll be easier to manage. So I'll just merge them into 1 or 2 blue, for example. You can go from here, you can go up this way. Then we'll have you going in this way for one of them. All 4 merge into here. What is the best way to do it? Let's do normal merging lines. So you can jump and you don't need a jump, but it looks better. That is the same. That is just some aesthetic thing. That I'm the best at that. Boom, boom, and boom. And you four will merge together into this line right here. And you can in theory just do it red. Let's do these for now. You'll go this way. Let's go one lower. So you go right here. You'll merge. And do I want to do something like that? It feels like a bit of a waste of belt to do it. We can in theory. How does this look? Doesn't look very good. Okay, I don't mind wasting a bit of belt. I just want to make it look somewhat decent. So what if we do this? There, and then you can go down, well, pretty much just into a red belt going the other way. Let's take the two middle ones. I think that'll look cool. You'll go down here into that. Then we'll take this part. Flip you. Just like that. Did I just completely misflip all of this? Oh, you have to go the same way, of course. But that makes a mess of that. Unless I just take the red belts, then we're actually fine. Let's do that again. Please remove all the blue belts. And there we are. Now we can hook it up. Or very close to at least. Just fix the one over here. That's a bit off. There we are. And all of the output will go the opposite way. So there we are. That should supply everything we need and make all of this run. So moment of truth. Let's get all of this running and let's consume every bit of copper we have in this base. Copper less than 8k, you'll be copper loading, or copper unloading even. Copper plate unloading. And we have a few standing by, but I want to take just this part. Just run around with you. There. Let's do air. There and there. So here goes all the copper. Not that we have nearly enough for it. But that's I think it is one. Oh, that goes. Did we hook everything up? I think there's one thing down here that wasn't hooked up. Ah, yes, right there. So see, that goes 2 copper. That goes 3 copper. That's going to flow in. That's going to start to be consumed. Oh god, no. How did I make a silly mistake as that? Look, we have double these. Let's just quickly fix that. Whoops. There we are. Go my minions, help me out when I mess up. That means all of you are getting it. Is it the same issue at the bottom? Now you got everything you needed, so you are now completely filled up all the way up. They just need to request in or steel and such. So you'll be steel. I just get you parked. You can go over there, please. You'll be steel. Steel unloading. That we should have more than enough of. That's gonna split out. Let's make sure it was the steel. Yes, steel is the 2 lines, and then the 4 lines of plastic. Plastic unloading. There goes those 2. So now this should fire up everything as soon as the last 2 things gets delivered. And then the only reason we have, the main thing the base is needing is just a ton of production for copper. Oh, look at that. Look at that beauty. Is it going in? Yes, steel is going all the way down. Is it already? Oh yeah, we need to change this as that doesn't need to go from the bottom. Why did I set it to go from the bottom? Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm a humongous idiot. Because we have steel here. We just, of course, need to do that with it. Now everything is flowing. What a silly, silly mistake to make. I'll just be back in a second after I've rectified this. Oh, well, we can see it work. I'll just rectify it at the same time. So jump from here to here and flip. Let's take this one first and go back and fix the rest afterwards. But now you can see low density structure is flowing very nicely. Other than that, this little mishap. Flip, flip, flip. Seems good. That seems good. One, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And then we're almost done. All of it should almost be working now. And that should be everything. Ooh. Oh yeah, it's only one-sided. We do need to upgrade this to blue. Because right now it's 15, then we go to 22. I'll go to 45. Well, let's just quickly solve that, because it's an easy thing to do. Pretty much just adding in view to these. By doing that, we can do that, that, that. And then we shouldn't have an issue with them backing up when it's running full speed. Same over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wouldn't in theory have used just use red ones, but we have this. So there we are. That is loaded into structure, already 2k, and we have consumed all the iron, all the copper that we have in our base. But we have this beautiful setup now that can produce all the low density structures we need when running at full speed. So I think this is a pretty decent place to end. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Do comment what you think about this build. I think it turned out very, very nicely. And do remember to like and subscribe and jump on Discord if you want this blueprint. Or if you want the safe world, jump on Patreon and be our chap at helping me continue this series. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I've been Dgray, and I'll see you next episode.